Hello and welcome to 3 Cups Tarot. On this channel, I do readings intended to uplift and guide the collective toward their highest path. And today we're going to do a reading for the outlook of the week ahead, however you're defining the week ahead and whenever you're finding this video. It's a timeless reading meant to find you when it's meaningful. And I'm going to get our 3 cards to set the tone for our 3 readings for this week. Oh wow, this shot up and it has 3 cards already, so we're just gonna go with that. And you'll notice that the sun is on the move right now, so the shadows and the light will be changing around. I just thought it was so beautiful that I didn't want to close the curtains or change anything, so we'll just see how the light plays with the readings today. So reading 1, you have number 8, Ancestral Love Tending. Reading 2, you have number 9, Sacred Medicine, Calling. And reading 3, you have number 1, Sweetgrass Braid, Receptivity. So go ahead and pause the video if you need more time to see what colors or images, shapes, numbers, or words might be drawing you to the reading that's meant for you this week. It could be more than one reading as well. And if you look in the timestamps, you can find your reading, and I'll see you ahead there. Hi, reading 1. So you were drawn to this card, number 8, Ancestral Love Tending, with all these images of kind of peaceful looking ancestors. I feel like they're connected by their hair, like there's obviously some sort of connection being woven between them. And they're all looking outward at different aspects or different points of the timeline, the collective family history. So there's really something key about the ancestor spirits around you at this time. They're gathering close, they're gathering near to you at this specific time in your life. This makes me think that it's a key moment for you. Maybe some of you are pregnant or expecting a child incoming in the family, and so the ancestral spirits around you are helping to usher in that next part of the generational line. For others, it's more individual. Maybe you have taken on some sort of work to be done in this lifetime that will reverberate back to your past ancestors. They're also around you, supporting you as you're working through this. So maybe you're breaking a cycle. I heard in my head a cycle of poverty, but it could be any kind of ancestral intergenerational cycles that have been passing through the years. And a lot of these are, I feel compelled to say that a lot of these are reactions to external events that have continued to pass down through history, through our families. So it could be trauma from war or colonialism. And it's like the ripples happen through our individual family lines, and it's almost like you're the last ripple and you're willing yourself to be the last ripple, and they're all around you protecting you with this. And I'm looking at the 8 and it's reminding me of the infinity sign, and it's almost like you're restoring infinity in some way. It's you're going back to that specific frequency of love, which is a little bit more mellow, a little bit more mediated. This is really difficult for me to describe. I'm just trying to do the best I can, but it feels more like universal, cosmic kind of energies that are happening here in what you're doing in your lifetime. So it could be it could feel like a mundane thing, like you ask for help, or you quit eating sugar, or it's something that might feel small, but it's actually having this energetic ripple effects. And so this week it seems to me that it's almost like you're hitting a milestone, whether that's externally, like if you're in recovery from alcohol use, and say you're getting like a chip like for a certain amount of months that you've been sober. It could be like very externally recognized like that, but for the most part I feel of it more being like an internal version of that. Like maybe you're not, it's not even on your radar so much, but like maybe you wake up and you realize, oh, it's been 3 years since I did this, and you realize that your habits have completely changed and you have completely changed, and they want to remind you that you have also completely changed the ancestor line, and they're sending you so much love and support at this time as you're going through whatever it is that's happening. I don't see specifics, and I think they're going to look very different depending on each of our individual lives. But the common output kind of remains that you have ancestral love and support tending to you this week as you're going through some sort of milestone in the work you've been putting in. The Emperor in reverse. So I can say already for a lot of people, you are reversing or putting a stop to an imbalanced sort of male or patriarchal practice in your family line. So this could be like a power imbalance, or people abusing their power or oppressing others. And it doesn't have to be limited to the family, really, right? Oppression can happen on a societal level as well. This is really the theme of what's changing that you've been working towards, and you hit a key point this week. 4 of Blades in reverse and the Star reverse. Both of these cards are about healing. And it's interesting that they're in reverse. I might need more clarity on that, but the first hit that I'm getting with that is that the healing can't start until the Emperor becomes upright again, which you would think would be like a catch-22 situation, like you need to heal in order to upright the Emperor. But it's almost like a message of like awareness of the problem needs to happen first. So this might be the point that you're at, where you're acknowledging and becoming aware of patterns that in your life that you hold, that you have been taught, and that you have been carrying out maybe less consciously. And awareness is the key. Acknowledgement and acceptance is the key this week to be able to start the healing in a big way. This is like both, this is physical world, immediate kind of life experiences healing. So this is like, like going to therapy, getting a nap, doing self-care. The Star is more of a spiritual level healing, and this is the healing that we're talking about. You on a soul level, but also you on an ancestral line. Both of those are connected to acknowledging what the problem is in a very accurate, incisive way. So you're going to have to get very specific that whatever issue that you're trying to heal, say it is alcoholism, for example, it could be anything, alcoholism, the way I'm interpreting it in this reading. And I'm not a professional, so please take professional advice if needed. But I understand alcoholism as a coping mechanism to things that have happened, or to finding ways to respond and live in the world despite some sort of disruption, chaos, trauma, or imbalance. And so, for example, let's say that somebody came from a household where the father figure or a father figure in authority was oppressive or abusive with their authority, could be like physically violent, then a coping mechanism could be to turn to alcohol from the person that received that violence. I hope that's making sense. So acknowledging that original experience was the issue or is the issue to be healed, rather than the alcoholism, which is more of the symptom, the coping mechanism, is the energy of what you're going through right now. It's kind of like getting to the root cause of an issue. It could be mental health, it could be physical health, something in between the two, is going to serve you this week. I almost get the sense that you've been treating the symptom as if it was the root cause. There's something beneath that, and once you get to that, it's going to let the healing flow in the physical and in the spiritual as well. And I'm getting very clearly that to think in the area of we in tarot reading, we take the Emperor as a divine masculine, and so since it's reversed, an imbalance in the divine masculine experience that you've had externally and then internally to you as well. So for example, if there was an imbalance in male figures in authority in your life when you were growing up, you may have internalized that and continued that way of thinking or being in the world. All of that can be healed, starting with identifying the root cause of it. I also get a sense for some people that you've been avoiding that kind of work because you don't want to look in that direction. And your message is that it will be fine, and I'm being called for you to look at the beautiful image, the atmosphere in the star card. This is Joshua Tree National Park. I used to live nearby this back in California. And like for me, that was like as close to the cosmos as I've ever felt, because you can see the stars really vibrantly. It's almost like the entire sky looks like a star-filled universe. And it's making me think that you will feel very close to the stars and your ancestors. Think of that as the destination when you do look in that direction and you start going in that direction of identifying the root. Okay, so let me keep pulling. I think I was gonna get an animal card, right? And we'll end off your reading with this animal card. The Mouse and Buttercup Innocence, number 0. I take this as the equivalent of the Fool card too. So this is very much like a liminal card. It's the number 0, so it's kind of like in between stages of a cycle. And you have a beautiful opportunity to close off this cycle, this ancestral cycle, and start fresh, start on something new. That's really what you came here to do. Yeah, I'm just looking at I saw the 8 as the infinity, and now this is the 0. There's just something about those, like, I guess, non-numbers that is really significant here. Almost like the possibilities are endless, but also like returning home to emptiness, not in a dark way, but more in like a blank slate. It's kind of like being able to be free of the baggage that has come, that you have carried through this lifetime, and that you have carried from ancestral baggage through your lifetime as well. you can really be free with this. Yeah, this is huge kind of for this week for you. The identifying this thing, it looks like the mouse is discovering, right? For me, identifying that root cause is the big key that you've been waiting for. Everything just kind of unfolds from there. And with innocence, it is confirming to me to go back to that state of being a child and rediscovering your perspective through that lens of innocence again. That's going to help you heal and identify that root and connect to your ancestral love. And that's your reading for the week, and I'm wishing you a beautiful week with that. Thank you for watching. I hope that was helpful to you. Thank you for any likes, shares, and subscribes. And if you're drawn to another reading for this week, I will see you in that one too. Hi, reading 2. So you were drawn to this card, the number 9, Sacred Medicine Calling. And I take the number 9 as a spiritual path sort of number. And we're also in the year of 9, 2025. I have a reading coming out. It's going to come out after this reading, but if you come back to this channel, it'll be a mid-year checkpoint for the year of 9. So you might want to come back and see if you have a message there, since you are drawn to this card right now. And you have this card, this word calling. By the way, I associate 9 and this card is giving me that energy too with the Hermit card from the Major Arcana in the Tarot deck. And the Hermit is all about soul searching, but then also finding your calling and sharing that light that you've discovered within yourself to others so that they can be guided by it. And I see that you're so powerful with this in your calling, that you're not only sending out light, you're also sending out rainbows. Like, you're sending out all these major signs like people can't miss, and they're going to be guided by it. Oh my gosh, the light was so cool. What happened right now? I'm going to take that as an emphasis on what I just channeled. People can't miss it. They're so guided by you. If you needed that confirmation, that's coming through. So I felt called to bring in a self-love card right now. Okay, this one popped up. It says, I trust myself and the process of life. And I feel like that fits this scene so well. Going inward, trusting yourself, but also trusting the process of life happening around you. Do you see how in harmony this woman is with the universe? And it's almost like you can't tell if she's summoning the rainbow, if the rainbow is calling to her. It doesn't matter because it's all in union anyways. That's very much your message coming through this week, is to trust yourself and trust the process of life too in your calling. I feel like you are very aligned. If you're questioning that, you are kind of like as aligned as it gets. You know, when there's like a target, if you're playing darts or shooting arrows and you want to get into the bullseye, right? That's the goal. It's almost like you're in the perfect center of the bullseye. That's how aligned you are. So a lot of reassurance with that. The Hierophant in reverse. Page of Blades in reverse. And the Queen of Sticks. You're being called to do things your own way. So the Hierophant represents formal knowledge, even institutions of higher learning, legal systems and structures that function, you know, for a certain end, but for what you're trying to do, and I feel like you're trying to bring about something novel in the world, you're being called with the Queen of Sticks, which is the Queen of Wands energy, to stand tall, do things your own way, confidently blaze forward. This is like trailblazer energy. I recently learned that the queens represent healing. Excuse me. And it's almost like you're healing yourself and others with this vision. You are channeling this vision, this calling, bringing it forth into the world, healing others and yourself by doing so, creating a new space physically and socially where there wasn't before for people like you. Page of Blades in reverse. This is a very specific message of like social media detox, or not announcing something yet if you're planning to announce something, and also not receiving feedback on something yet. Everything you need is internal and through your guides right now. So this is kind of, Page of Blades is like a communication often card. I'm reading it this way for you. Trust yourself in the process of life. Do things the way that you see they need to be done. There's no need to question or doubt that. It's coming in very strong. Your reading is actually so fast. So let me get, I plan to get one more of these Woodland Warden cards, and we'll see if that's the end of your message already. The Bat and Hellbore, Intuition. Number 19, interesting. Number 19 in the Major Arcana is the Sun. And this looks very much not like the sun at all. Oh, you can't really see it in the shadow. Let me put it in the sun. But I think this is amazing that intuition came up, and we have this calling card, right? Of you tuning into your intuition to receive directions and then carry them out in the physical with the Queen of Wands. That's very loud and clear. It's coming through all ways that your guides want you to tune in specifically and only to them and your higher self, your inner guidance. Follow that sun intuitively. So even if you can't see the sun, figuratively speaking, you can feel it on your skin. There are other ways to orient yourself to that guidance. And you do know how if you just trust yourself and kind of get out of your head about it and just go with the feel, and you'll be just fine. So that is your reading for the week, and I'm wishing you the best week with that. And I hope that was helpful for you. Thank you for any likes, shares, or subscribes to the channel. If you're drawn to another reading for this week, I will see you in that one too. Hi, reading 3. So you were drawn to this card, Sweetgrass Braid, Receptivity number 1. I was just kind of meditating on it before I started the camera. And what I was most drawn to is the gaze in the woman's face here, but also the two butterflies flying in opposite directions and the heart in between them. And so I feel very specifically if you are in a new romantic connection. It could also be any sort of connection like that's new, like a friendship connection. Your guides are asking you to kind of slow your fears down and be receptive to what's unfolding in front of you. You don't have to take any sort of action. You can just stand back and observe, but they're asking that you be receptive to an offer that is being presented to you. So that offer might be raising alarms from some past situation and raising fear within you. But they are kind of trying to help you avoid a situation where you go too far apart from this other person, I will say. Okay, so I'm so ready to get the tarot cards for you on this one and get some more clarity on this situation. So what can our reading threes be guided by in coming open-hearted, I will say, to this connection unfolding in front of you. I feel like that is the main message, to come open-hearted to the connection unfolding in front of you, whatever that connection might be. It doesn't have to be romantic, but it does feel new. It does feel like it's with a new person or place. Queen of Sticks, Four of Stones, Five of Vessels in reverse. This is really interesting. It's like a past disappointment is kind of hovering over the situation. But the thing with the Five of Vessels is that only 3 vessels are spilt and 2 are still standing. And so the main message is always to give attention to what you do have and not what was lost. And with the Four of Stones, let me just try to put this in the sun a bit more, but the woman is pointing to something and the man has binoculars and they're looking for, it might be this bird in the tree. And it's almost like in conversation with the Five of Vessels card, that message of look what you still have around you. You're really getting this message to look at something in front of you. Look at what you still have around you that fills you up, that brings you some sort of joy or sense of peace and happiness. Because that thing that's still there, that the things that still remain are the most important things. And it's almost like the universe and life is revealing to you what's important in life because they're the things that you still have, not the ones that you lost. There's something about this that's going to be so empowering for you. And it's going to give you confidence to go ahead with what you know you need to do. You know that you can still forge forward with what your plans were. With those 2 cups, you didn't need the full set of 5. You can still make do. And you can do just as well with the 2 cups remaining, metaphorically. So whatever that is, it could be literally like maybe you had 5 close friends in your life. Something happened and there's only 2 friends that you trust anymore. The message is don't focus on the 3 who left. The 2 are with you for a reason, to empower you to continue going forward in your life, being yourself, doing what you need to do. I'm trying to connect it back. I want to ask how to connect it back to the receptivity card. Be receptive to the situation that's in front of you. Before I said be receptive to the person, I think, that's in front of you. But I might have also said be receptive to the situation unfolding in front of you, yeah. There's something to come, and it's like your guides are saying, look, you can't really see it even though it is in front of you. There's something to come from this. That's everything. That's the next step of your life. Let's get another card to see what comes through on this. the Bat and Hellbore Intuition number 19. So I did, when I pulled the Queen of Sticks, want to refer you back to reading 2, because this came up in reading 2. This came up in reading 2 as well. See, if you were drawn to it, you might really have more specificity to your message for the week with that. This is going to help you trust your intuition. It's almost like you're taking a chance, you're taking a bet on someone or something, and you're going to win big. It's going to pay off. And that's going to empower you to trust your intuition again. I feel that you may have lost trust in your intuition. But this is going to prove to you that you do know what you're doing. You do know how to find joy. You do know how to make the choices that are in your best interest. Yeah, this is pretty generalized. I feel like for people needing something a little bit more specific, I want to draw one more card. So if you don't feel like you reached your message yet, let's draw from this deck and see what comes through. News. So there's your specific message for this week. You will receive a message with some news. Is the heart again. You might receive a love letter, very sweet, or love message. You're being asked to respond. If you receive communication, respond in kind. Don't play it too cool. Put yourself out there. If you want to connect back, because this is genuine. And for others, you might want to just watch the news. Like, there'll be some good news. It won't be all bad this week. Okay, and that's your reading for the week. I hope it was helpful for you. Thank you for any likes, shares, subscribes to the channel. And if you're drawn to another reading for this week, like reading 2 I mentioned before, I will see you there.